In my previous videos, I said that the sun, moon and stars could be artificial, that this could be proven with simple experiments, but that life could not be created without them. This thesis may seem a bit absurd to you, but think about this: how can the sun in a cold and dark void produce heat and light and send them to us? No, it is made up of these gases, it is millions of kilometers away, it produces millions of degrees of heat, Big Bang etc. etc. They give such clear numbers as if they were measured smiley-faced. They say that these calculations are made based on the heat and light reaching us and by adding some assumptions. How can reality be determined by assumptions? Don't be funny. We are talking about a cycle that continues with constant determination. Since there is a huge universe and billions of sun-like structures floating around in space within this universe, will there never be a collision in this universe? Is the solar system protected? If so, who is protecting it? I have my doubts about this because I do not believe everything the Jewish scientific community says. In my opinion, the sun is the greatest and primary source of electricity, energy. It also gets its energy from this earth's salty sea water, wirelessly. They have experienced the possibility of this. I recommend you watch the video titled, Truth 32 The Glass Firmament, on YouTube. I cannot add it here due to copyright reasons. I think it makes perfect sense. Now I understand better why they went after Tesla and what they meant here. Tesla has been focusing on wireless electricity lately, and many of his projects are now available to capitalists. If wireless electricity energy propagation is fully discovered, these damn capitalists will be devastated. It's an ancient secret that has fallen into the hands of the damned elite who play the role of God. This is the same principle that works for the sun, moon and stars. There is a bond between them, and there is some kind of energy current that provides this bond. Either electricity as we know it or something similar, I don't know. Or the energy, matter that Tesla called ether. There are 7 signs of the apocalypse before the harvest in the Bible. I mentioned it before, 5 of them came true. The 6th is darkness. Most probably, there may be some troubles in the sun and/or it may go out. This sign is also mentioned in the Quran, see At-Takwir 1. When you have been in darkness for a few days, know that the last sign has come true, and then most likely the harvest will come. Scientists, it's more accurate to call them filmmakers, have always told us that when there is an explosion on the sun, your electrical devices may malfunction or your communication network may be cut off, etc. How can the heat wave created by the explosion damage electronic devices? I understand if you say that the radiation emitted by the explosion affects and/or damages the ether that Tesla mentioned, but wouldn't it then be understood that the sun is an artificial source of electricity, electromagnetism? Think about it. Aren't the things they convey to us as explosions actually energy, electrical surges? Think of it as a kind of high-voltage electrical leak. In this case, of course your electrical devices may be affected. Then this statement may become a reality. The disruption of the sun means the disruption of this invisible energy current that covers the world. It means that the electrical energy inside us is also affected. That is why we become angry, tense and aggressive in cloudy weather. It is not possible for me to fully describe this current, which I think is present at normal levels in the world. An energy that is integrated with the air or independent of the air. The essence of life. That invisible, mysterious power, which we call the soul, that surrounds all beings. Like oxygen, but not oxygen. They say that no living thing can survive without air, oxygen, but it is known that some tiny living things, some parasites and some fungi can survive in an airless environment. So how is this possible? Think about it. There are also divers and the Bajau people who have broken world records by staying underwater for more than 20 minutes without air. Despite being able to stay underwater for so long without air, oxygen, no damage occurs. Don't you think that's a little strange? I assume that this current, energy is neutral, meaning stationary, and therefore harmless. Evaporating water vapor disrupts this neutral current and creates lightning and thunder. In other words, this current in nature short circuits. This is the same as electrical devices that come into contact with water shorting out and creating sparks. Think of the electricity in your home as 1 unit. Think of the electricity in dams as 10, the electricity in lightning as 100, and the electricity in the sun as 1000 units. The sun, which is the largest unit, distributes energy equally and in balance, just like the main spaceship. If the mothership is destroyed, this entire energy network will collapse and in a short time, all living things on Earth will be negatively affected. This energy in nature is always in a neutral state. Think of it like the neutral pole of our bipolar current. There is always 220 volts of electricity in the positive pole, but it is harmless on its own unless it is transmitted to another location. If you touch it with an insulating glove, you will not get an electric shock, but if you touch it with your bare hands, you will get a shock because you act as a conductor. This is how the current in nature is. It is water that disrupts this neutral energy and provides conductivity. Has anyone ever seen lightning outdoors? The coincidental coming together of water, air, light and electricity to create and spread this energy cannot, of course, be explained by coincidences. This is something that superior and intelligent beings, designers, can do. Just like in the movies Elysium and Interstellar. Edition. Tesla coil prototype. I added another 40-second video to this part of the video, guys. You may not hear the sound due to copyright. Now apply this to the sun and moon. Think of the Earth as a Tesla coil and the sun and moon as 2 separate light sources. Think of the moon as an energy-saving light bulb and the sun as a yellow incandescent bulb, like yin and yang. Both receive their energy wirelessly from the Earth's magnetic field. The warm effect of the sun is balanced by the cold effect of the moon. In this way, heat and cold can remain within certain ideal ranges. Of course, these are only possible in a closed system. That is, what if there really is a dome above us and we are really inside a glass bowl? You cannot observe these with the science taught to us. According to them, the sun, which was formed coincidentally with the Big Bang, in its temperature reaching up to 5,000 degrees, reaches us after traveling 150 million kilometers in the infinitely dark and cold universe -270 degrees, and can maintain the temperature range that is ideal for life even after thousands of years. This is a really beautiful story. And think about it. While you cannot feel the heat even 10 meters away from the wood stoves that you burn outdoors in cold weather and that can reach temperatures of up to 200 to 300 degrees, we can always receive the heat of the sun that is 150 million kilometers away. Isn't it interesting? Now, a science lover might come along and say, the mass of the stove and the sun are not the same. We can create a prototype, compare their masses, and find an approximate value with some assumptions and calculations. As I said at the beginning of the video, you can only reach possibilities, not the truth, with assumptions. Because according to you, there are millions of meteors, stars, planets, etc. wandering around in the universe. Well, does this temperature not get stuck in any of these obstacles until it reaches us? If it does, why don't maximum temperature differences occur? How can the sun produce a temperature of 5,000 degrees in a universe that is -270 degrees and keep it constant? Do large meteors and celestial bodies never hit the sun? If they do, why doesn't the temperature drop over time? If anyone has a logical explanation, I'd love to hear it.